Giant clams have multiple vertical folds in their thick heavy shells that give them their characteristic wavy opening. Unlike other species of clams, this one can never completely close its shell to protect its soft mantle, which is usually yellow, golden brown, or green and marked with iridescent blue, purple, or green spots as well as clear spots called windows. The windows allow sunlight to filter in and allow algae inside the clam's shell to photosynthesize. In the mantle are two siphons, one is used to pull seawater and plankton into the mantle, and the other pushes the water out of the shell during spawning. Like fingerprints, no two colorations and patterns found in giant clams are the same. The largest observed giant clam weighed nearly 550 pounds, and its shell 4.5 feet wide. Some seafaring myths and legends say giant clams are so large they can eat humans, but no one has ever observed or reported a clam doing so. Diet and habitat. Giant clams are omnivores and filter feeders. They pull water into their mantle and filter both zooplankton and phytoplankton from it. The clam's shells also provide protection for billions of algae in exchange for the opportunity to feed on the sugars and proteins the algae produce through photosynthesis. The algae are what produce the bright and beautiful colors seen on the clam's mantles. Giant clams live in the warm waters of the South Pacific and Indian Oceans and are seen in the National Marine Sanctuary of American Samoa. They settle in shallower lagoons and coastal waters, where enough sunlight can reach them, and where plankton are plentiful in the water column. Life history. Giant clams are sessile animals, meaning they live in one place for their entire lives. They start their lives as planktonic larvae, which swim and feed in the water column until they reach their next stage, which is when they find a safe place to settle. They attach to reefs, rocks, or other steady surfaces, and can take decades to reach their full size. Giant clams reproduce via external fertilization, an event that involves clams releasing eggs and sperm into the water column. Individuals can release both eggs and sperm, but cannot self-fertilize. They can live to be a maximum of 100 years old, and are not social animals. Threats and conservation. Giant clams have a wide range of ecological roles within their ecosystems, including the production of food for other animals, filtering excess nutrients from the water, and strengthening reefs. Unfortunately, ocean acidification, climate change, and overharvesting are all threats to giant clam populations. Currently, giant clam species are listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List. Cool facts about sea clams. First, 1. What type of animal is a clam? Clam animals are a type of bivalve mollusks. The second one, what class of animal does a clam belong to? A clam animal belongs to the class Bivalvia. The third one, how many clams are there in the world? Clams have a wide range of species, and hence, a large population. However, the number of harvestable clams by humans is about 25 to 30 million. The fourth one, where does a clam live? Clams live in water bodies like oceans and rivers. They are often found on beaches and shores. Clams live in both freshwaters as well as marine habitats. The fifth one, what is a clam's habitat? Clam habitat facts differ for different clam species. Clams and mussels are found in nearly all types of freshwater habitats. They are very common in streams and large rivers. Many of these burrow to varying depths in the soft substrates. They can burrow in the soft substrates due to their characteristic burrowing feet. Some of them also live on the seafloor freely. The sixth one, who do clams live with? There is no information about whether clams live alone or in groups. The seventh one, how long does a clam live? Some clam species may live for only a year. Freshwater clams have a 6-month lifespan. Soft-shell clams have a lifespan of 10 to 12 years. Hard clams or quahogs live up to 40 years. Some varieties have a lifespan of 500 years in the sea. The eighth one, how do they reproduce? Clams reproduce by a method called spawning. Determining whether clams are male or female might be a complicated classification among some clam species. Some clams are dioecious, while some are protandrous. Male clams produce sperms that they release in the water, and the female clams have internally stored eggs. Female clams draw the sperms into their bodies through their siphons for fertilization. Clams can release anywhere between 1 to 5 million eggs, which gradually turn to larvae. These larvae metamorphose and develop hard shells. Tiny clams settle to the ocean or riverbed and use burrowing feet to attach to the sand or mud. Ninth one, how cute are they? Clams are an aquatic species of bivalves and are not animal-like in appearance. They cannot be called cute. However, clamshells are beautiful. Next one, how do they communicate? Clams generally do not communicate amongst themselves. They interact with environments through their pinhole eyes. Small clams have primitive light-sensitive eyes, while giant clams have better eye receptors. They often make popping sounds with the opening and closing of their hinged shells. Next one, how big is a clam? Clams come in a variety of sizes, ranging from 7 to 15 centimeters. The smallest clams are known as juveniles. The common hard clam is about 10.2 to 15.2 centimeters in size, which is about 3 times the size of a prawn. Next one, can a clam move? Clams can move on the sand or mud floors using their burrowing foot. It retracts the foot and squirts water from the shell, and closes its open valves using adductor muscles. Apart from that, they use ocean currents and waves to be transported at greater speeds. The speed and direction cannot be controlled by the clam. Next one, what would you call a baby clam? Baby clams are called larvae. After metamorphosis under the sand or mud, they turn into juvenile clams. Next one, what do they eat? Clams are mostly suspension feeders. They feed on plankton, which are small animals and plants. They draw these in with water. Giant clams are preyed upon by organisms like oyster drills, skates, pufferfish, moon snails, and whelks. The polychaete worm and certain other parasites cause blisters inside the shell of clams. This results in death indirectly. Next one, are they edible? Yes, many species of clams are edible and relished as seafood. Clam chowder, clam sauce, and steamed clams are some popular clam recipes. Razor clams, a species found in the Pacific Ocean, have brittle shells and are almost completely edible. Littlenecks are eaten raw or grilled. So, today we are talking about some details about sea clams. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos.